In today's video, we are going to take a look at a potential fake out developing here for the pound this week, and also what the DXY has to do next week in order to see some relief for the dollar. Okay, so starting here with the daily time frame on the pound. First and foremost, you can see where we have had an uptrend here for the past really couple of months. And what you'll also notice is that we have some really clean levels here for GBPUSD. So ever since the low down here, since this accumulation period, you can see that every single time the market closes a day above a key level, we get a retest there and it holds as new support. So back here, this was our key level. We got the close above right here on this candle. You can see where we got the retest here as support. We never closed below. Same thing up here. This was our next key level. We got the close above right here on this candle. We got the retest as new support. And the pound, once again, never closed below. It came close, but it never closed a day below that level. Now, fast forward here to the last 48 hours, and you can see where we got the rally here the day after FOMC. So this was very much a risk-on rally here on this green candle. And you can see where, once again, we got to close above our next key level here for the pound, very much like we did here in the past on these two occasions. Now, the difference is that today could be potentially closing back below that level. And I say potentially because there are still about 2 hours left in the session. So here's what this is going to come down to. First of all, I have to get this out of the way, but it is Friday. You probably don't want to be entering into a new position 2 hours before the weekend. That's never a great idea. Really, there's no point in it. You might as well just wait until the new week because we are likely to get a retest early next week anyway, if this does set up. Okay, so that's first and foremost, and obviously this is never financial advice. But for the pound, what I'm looking for here is you can see where we got a retest at this key area right back here. So the closing price on this candle, we had several highs through this area. And you can see where this was tested on Thursday and even once again today. Now, what's going to be key is today's close in relation to 1.2720, because that's this key level right here. And if we were to get a close down here in this area, okay, convincing close, if it closes at 27, 18 or 27.15, that's not something that I would be interested in. It needs to be convincing down here in this region and to really confirm that it did close below these recent highs. Now, if that does set up, then we could have a fake out on our hands. And just to let you know too, full disclosure, I do have a short position that I shared with VIP members earlier today. So we got a 4-hour close below this level. I'll show you here on the 4-hour time frame. So we had a 4-hour close right here. We got a retest on the very next candle, and I did enter short through this area. Okay, so I did share that with VIP members at the time. And if you guys do want to join, I will put a link at the top of this video for 70% off. That is a limited time offer through the end of this month. All right, so far we do have an intraday fake out, but again, it is going to take a daily close below 127.20, a convincing close below that to set this up for next week. So the way this could set up next week, if we get the close below 127.20, again, that is going to be critical. If we get that, then this up here is a fake out, and we could see a move back here toward 125.50 next week, and potentially lower as well, because a fake out to one side of a pattern like this does tend to produce an extended move in the opposite direction. However, there is one critical component here, and that is the DXY, which we'll take a look at here in a moment. But as for the pound, though, it's going to take, again, close below 127.20. We could get that move down here towards support, potentially even the mid-range around 123.80. So this level right here, this is about the 50% of this recent range. All right, so a decent little short op there if we do get the close below 127.20 today. Now, let's flip over and take a look at the US dollar index, because this is also going to be key. And so far, this is why I'm a little bit hesitant about being too aggressive on the pound short that I have on. So looking here at the DXY, you can see we've got the low from back here. Okay, so from back here in June, you can see that we had, this was the reclaim that we've talked about down there at 101. We have the lows right here at 102, and that was tested here recently. So we've seen a decent bounce from the dollar index from 102. However, what's going to be key for the dollar next week and really through the end of December is going to be 102.60. So you can see we've got this low right back here. And in fact, if we go back to this area right back here as well, you can see we have these highs right around 102.60 as well. So we've got these highs here, this low, this was broken on Thursday. So it's going to be imperative now, if you're looking for dollar strength, it's going to be imperative to see the DXY close back above that. And just like what I mentioned with the pound, it's not going to cut it if we see the DXY close at 102.58 or even 102.60 or really even 102.62. We need to see something up here in this area very convincing, telling us that this area down here has flipped back to support. And so far we don't have that. The market right now, you can see, is testing 102.60. So as of this video, 102.60 is still going to be resistance for the DXY. And that's important because for the most part, this moves inversely to the pound. All right, so you could trade the pound or the euro or anything else really without looking at the DXY. But I do find that it provides some extra confirmation when you're looking for potential breakouts or even fake outs like the one today that I'm talking about on the pound. Just because if you're looking at the DXY and you see it's still struggling at 102.60 and you go back here toward the pound, do you really want to get that confident in calling this up here a fake out if the DXY, the dollar index, is still below resistance? You know, I personally don't. And so that's what it's going to take for me to really get confident here in this position. So as of right now, I would say the jury is still out on this, considering that there are still 2 hours left in the day. This could close back above this level here for all we know. So just keep that in mind. The jury is out here, but I think that 127.20 is going to be one to keep an eye on in terms of where today closes. Now, one contingency, one thing to watch if we don't get this set up is going to be the 101 area for the DXY. So if we go out here on the DXY, I've talked about this before, but you can see where back here, this was basically just one big range for the DXY. This was a fake out. We got the close above, retest here as new support, and we got the rally. This up here was also a fake out on the weekly. I've talked about that as well. You can't see it as well here on the daily, but on the weekly, this level is perfect. So this up here was a fake out as well. Now we're seeing the sell-off. So just like back here, once we got the fake out, we saw a move back here toward range highs. So this could be setting up the same way where we got the confirmed fake out up here above 105.80, and that's going to trigger potentially a move down here toward the 101 range support, which if that's the case, we have not seen the bottom yet for the dollar. Okay, so just something else to keep in mind in the back of your mind as we head into next week. But for the pound, for this setup that I'm talking about, again, a convincing close above 102.60 for the DXY is going to be required. And for the pound, we need to see something convincing below this area back here, these highs, and then a rejection from there next week. If it closes above this, the level is still intact as support, and this uptrend is also still intact. All right, so I hope that made sense. We will be talking about this a lot more in a lot more detail in the VIP group. So again, if you guys do want to join, you can get 70% off right now, lifetime access. See the link in the description of this video. All right, so that's it for now. If you found the video helpful, be sure to smash the like button and also subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon for notifications. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you again next week.